I whispered to Cousin Clara. She added the bonnet to the coat tree as well. Why were you in a rush to come home? I had just heard that Margot was heading this way with a job for Bailey. I wanted to beat her to warn you both. I glanced back at the table where Bailey and Margot spoke. Bailey was shaking her head no, and Margot was nodding hers yes. I'm too late. Oh, Charlotte, no one can beat Margot Rawlings when she is on a mission, Cousin Clara said in a low voice so that Margot wouldn't overhear. Other than the bishop's wife, Ruth Yoder, Margot is the most determined woman I've ever known. If the two of them joined together, none of us would have any peace. It's for the best the pair of them are rarely in agreement. I had to agree with her there. Ruth Yoder scared me even more than Margot, but that had more to do with her being the bishop's wife and the fact that I was 22 years old and still not baptized into the Amish church, something Ruth Yoder did not approve of. She made no secret of what she thought, too. You are the obvious choice, Margot was telling Bailey at the table. There was a large cardboard box in the middle of the table between them, and she pushed it in Bailey's direction. You've already made all the candy canes in this box. I'm not asking you to make more. You can always get others from Harvest Market. I don't think people will even know the difference between the ones made by Swissman Sweets and the store-bought ones. Bailey frowned and pushed the box back across the tabletop. I know it makes sense for Swissman Sweets to handle that candy cane exchange. We are the only candy shop in the village. We were happy to make the candy canes for it. Charlotte did a great job with them. However, I thought we agreed that's where Swissman Sweets' involvement would end. I don't remember saying that was the end of it for Swissman Sweets, Margot said. Bailey sighed. I know why you thought of us first, and I am so grateful, Margot, that you think of our shop when problems arise. I glanced at Cousin Clara, and she smiled at me. I think we were both surprised that Bailey had been able to say that with a straight face. But, Bailey went on, as much as I would like to help Margot, I just can't. Because of Bailey's Amish sweets, the candy orders this Christmas are 3 times what they were last year. We're working around the clock to finish everything on time. To make matters worse, I have to go to New York tomorrow morning to do more promotion for the show. That leaves my grandmother, Charlotte, and Emily with all the work. You can see why I wouldn't want this to fall on their plates, too, can't you? Margot folded her arms and didn't comment. We just can't take it on. Bailey pushed the box a little closer to Margot, and then Margot put her hand on the other side and pushed back. The cardboard creased as they pushed from the 2 opposite sides. If they pushed any harder, the candy canes inside would be crushed. What's the project? I made the candy canes, but I didn't know what they were for exactly, I said. Juliet had told me about the candy exchange when I was at the church, but I hoped that I could distract them both by asking. It would also keep the candy canes from being pulverized. Margot eyed me and then removed her hand from the box. Bailey did the same. We're raising money for new costumes for the annual Christmas pageant on the square, Margot said. We've had the same wardrobe for the last 10 years, and the shepherds are starting to look threadbare. It's a disgrace. I know they were poor work hands on the hills of Bethlehem, but they can't have translucent robes. There are children in our audience. Bailey made a face and brushed her long ponytail over her shoulder. As she did, the Christmas tree-shaped earrings dangling from her ear swung back and forth. Unlike Cousin Clara and me, Bailey was not Amish and never had been. Her father, Cousin Clara's son, had left the Amish faith as a young man and married an English woman, Bailey's mother. Over a year ago, Bailey moved to Harvest to help out with the candy shop after Clara's husband, Jebediah, died. Since then, the business had grown by leaps and bounds, thanks to Bailey's guidance and her experience as a chocolatier in New York City. Bailey had turned the shop into more...